Okay, this is lesson 5.3 of stretching and shrinking, the last lesson of stretching and shrinking, and also a third method of how to measure things that are too tall to measure. This method is called triangle within a triangle. Exactly like it sounds, there's triangles inside triangles. So we're going to use the triangle within a triangle method to solve problems. Let's jump right in and look at how it works. So we're going to find the height of the cliff using the TWT method. So triangle within triangle, I'm abbreviating as TWT. It's a little simpler to say. Not drawn to scale. Once again, you'll see that note a lot. So we have a tent. We find a line of sight that goes from the ground, hits the top of the tent, and hits the top of the cliff. And then we see some measurements that are on the ground. And what we are looking for is the height of the cliff. Now, I see one small triangle and one big triangle. Now, first step is to separate the triangles. So, here's the small triangle, and here's the big triangle. The tricky part is what goes on the bottom of the big triangle. It is not just 400. 400 only takes it to there. There's an additional 45 there. So the total is 445. You need to add up the bottoms. Now, use cross multiply and divide to solve for the height of, the cliff, not the clock tower. That's what I get for copy pasting things. Use cross multiply and divide to solve for the height of the cliff. Set up fractions. Height over ground. 10 over 45 equals h over 445. Cross multiply. 445 times 10 equals 4,450. 4,450 divided by 45 equals, those are big enough numbers, I'm going to use a calculator, 4,450 divided by 45 equals 98.88, and looks like the 8's repeat. The cliff is 98.8 feet tall. So, once you separate the triangles, it is no different from the mirror method or the shadow method. The most important part is to add up 45 and 400, or whatever the numbers are on the bottom. Alright. Let's go back and practice the mirror method and shadow method stuff. So, B. Draw a picture and then solve for the height of the tower using the information below. You are 6 foot tall and are 10 feet away from the mirror. Well, looks like it's mirror method. Here's the mirror. You are 10 feet away and you are 6 feet tall. The building is 150 feet away. And how tall is the tower? Height over ground, h over 150 equals 6 over 150. Over 10. Getting ahead of myself. 150 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Oh, this is 900. 900 divided by 10 equals 90. The height of the building is 90 feet. Next up, draw a picture and then solve for the height of a cliff, so another cliff, using the information below. You are 5 foot tall, so here's you. Draw a stick figure this time. And you have a 3 foot shadow. The cliff has a 45 foot shadow. How tall is the cliff? Cross multiply and divide. Height over ground. Height over ground. Cross multiply. 45 times 5 equals, well, I gotta set it up this way. 25, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. 225. 225 divided by 3. 3 goes into 22 7 times, which is 21. bring down the 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times, 15, no remainder. The height of the cliff this time is 75 feet. Okay, let's go through some more practice problems here. Just some more random stuff. Figure out which rectangles below are similar. Circle the rectangles that are similar pairs and cross off rectangles that are not similar to any others. So, remember for this one, long side over short side, I have 6 over 4 simplifies by dividing by 2 equals 3 over 2. 2 over 2 simplifies to 1 over 1. 3 over 2 is simplified. 3 over 3 simplifies to 1 over 1. 7 over 1 is simplified. 8 over 2 divided by 2 simplifies to 4 over 1. All right, we have 3 over 2 and 3 over 2. Those are similar. We have 1 over 1 and 1 over 1. Well, that's complicated. Those are similar. 7 over 1 matches with nothing. 4 over 1 matches with nothing. So L and N, M and Q. Rectangles below are similar. Answer questions A, B, and C using the rectangles. A. What was the scale factor to go from rectangle A to rectangle B? Remember, scale factor is dividing corresponding sides. So that side corresponds with that side. I need to do 4 divided by 12. 12 does not go into 4, so I add a dot 0. 12 goes into 40 3 times, which is 36. Subtract, I get a 4, bring down another 0. I get 40 again, which would be 3 again, which means the 3's repeat. Scale factor is 0.3 repeating. What is the scale factor to go from rectangle B to rectangle A? Well, now, instead of going this way, we are going to go this way. So 12 goes inside, 4 goes outside, 4 goes into 12 3 times. That's much easier. What is the length of X? Long side over short side. Long side over short side. Cross multiply. 4 times 6 equals 24. Divide by 12. 24 divided by 12 equals 2. 2 centimeters. X equals 2 centimeters. All right. Let's go ahead and back through the worksheet, make sure we answered everything completely. So lesson 5.3 was the final lesson in stretching and shrinking, learning how to use the triangles in the triangle strategy to measure things that are too tall to measure. We learned how the triangle within a triangle strategy works, separated the triangles, cross multiplied and divided. We practiced a mirror method and a shadow method, drawing them and solving them. And then we practiced some comparing of ratios, and finding similar pairs, and finding scale factor and finding a missing part. Basically, this lesson just reviewed most of the entire unit of stretching and shrinking. That is the end of stretching and shrinking. Go ahead and go back through the lessons within this unit if you're still unsure of things before you are tested on them.